Right, we may have some people join in as the time passes, which is totally fine. I think we can go ahead and get started. I think the goal for this is to be very casual. This is if it can be conversational, I think that we have our three current and past board members here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but please, I think you guys can jump in with questions if you have them, but there will be lots of time at the end for questions. But I'm just going to introduce myself. Thank you all for being here. I will say, just to preface, this is going to be recorded and sent out to all alumni after the fact. So just know that your face may be in a private YouTube link to the alumni that it's going out to. But if you have any questions or want to refer back to it, this is a great place to have it saved. So I'm Kate Lance. I'm the Assistant Director of Development for the College of Engineering, and I have the pleasure of serving as the liaison to our alumni board. We have three wonderful board members here with us. The board does a lot of great work. I'm going to let them speak for it themselves. But just, I'm here. I am the official engineering contact for the board, but the board really runs itself, does all the work, and gets the engagement and networking out there. So I'll let them take it away.
Kate doesn't give herself nearly enough credit. She is an absolute rock star for us. So, but I'm Alex Blankenship. I'm the current co-chair of the alumni board alongside Anastasia Kolsterman. I got my civil engineering degree in 2019 and then got my master's in 2020. And now I work for PES Structural Engineers out of Atlanta. And I just finished up my second year on the board as a general member and now taking over a 2-year term as a co-chair.
And I'm Niyelle Tucker. I'm a member of the board as well. This is my second year. I am a biological engineer. I got my degree in 2021, had to think about that. And right now I'm a scientist at Procter & Gamble, looking to see if I can eventually make my way back to Georgia. But one great thing about the board is that I've been a part of it from Cincinnati. So I want to show you guys that you can still be very involved with the college, even if you live out of state.
And I graduated with civil engineering back in 2017. Had to think about that one. And filled out my term with the alumni board. And I currently work at Gresham Smith as a bridge/structural engineer.
All right, so we'll get started with the presentation. This can be a pretty short presentation, and we'll kind of open it up for questions and answers and have a more open discussion amongst us. So kind of what is the alumni board? What is our ultimate mission? Our mission is to foster and engage a community of alumni of the College of Engineering at the University of Georgia, provide connections between alumni and students at the college, and advocate for diverse interests of alumni and current students. This mission shall be consistent with the mission of the University of Georgia. So with the alumni board, we have a couple of primary initiatives. One being alumni to student engagement. We also focus on alumni to alumni engagement, K through 12 engagement, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we have an engineering alumni board scholarship that we'll touch on. So our alumni and student engagement, I feel like this is probably one of the biggest things that we focus on. And primarily what we do here is we work to develop relationships between alumni and students. So that's not only just focusing on connecting our board members to students, but also fostering, the entire network that we as the alumni board have and getting everyone kind of connected back to the students. Additionally, we kind of represent the interests and perspective of the students. So a lot of times we'll meet with students and kind of have a conversation with them on how they feel their experience at the college is going, kind of what they feel that they need, what they need more support for. And we ultimately give that feedback back to the leadership of the College of Engineering. And we do this through various events such as the Employer of the Day, Alumni of the Day, which is this picture is from. We do virtual resume critiques, developing Instagram reels to post on the College of Engineering Instagram page to kind of provide feedback and advice for students. And we do a lot of other initiatives within that realm as well. For our alumni to alumni engagement, this is primarily focusing on just broadening our outreach and network of alumni. And so we do this mostly through social events. We recently started doing a power lunch, which we host in Atlanta at the UGA's Atlanta campus. We do game watch parties, again, happy hour events, just anything that we can get alumni all together so that we can kind of connect with one another and share our experiences and share our love for the College of Engineering. K through 12 engagement, this is primarily focusing on developing the next generation of future engineers. So we partner with various STEM programs. ACEC has a great program called Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day, which I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about. So we usually get a booth with them every year. Additionally, we also do partnering with local schools to come and talk to, if they have like an engineering club, we'll go and talk to them about what we actually do as engineers, and kind of get the kids excited to be an engineer. And, you know, a lot of people will go through K through 12 not ever knowing what an engineer is or what an engineer actually does. So we really focus on teaching them, like, this is the cool things that you can do with an engineering degree. These are all the amazing things that you can accomplish by doing that. And then for the DEI, we're partnered with Dr. Sonia Garcia, who's the Assistant Dean for Undergraduate DEI. And she's laid out 3 top priorities for our initiatives. One is building an inclusive learning environment that supports access and success for diverse students. So this is kind of supporting students of all diverse backgrounds and kind of listening to them and seeing what they need and helping kind of promote that within the college. Priority number 2 is recruiting and retaining a diverse workforce to advance our mission in the 21st century. So that's just kind of furthering the diversity within the college's staff and professors and such. And then priority 3 is expanding partnerships and outreach to strengthen diverse communities. And then one of the biggest things that I would say we do is we have an alumni board scholarship. So this is an endowment fund that we began in fall of 2022. And our primary goal is by 2026 to have $30,000 within this endowment fund, which kind of then develops interest on itself and becomes self-supporting by that point, in which case it allows us to be able to give a scholarship out yearly to a student who ultimately exhibits outstanding community service, academic performance, and leadership skills. So this is something that we all within the board, you're not mandated to support this fund. Like, we don't require board members to give to this fund each year, but I will say that we have a 100% of the board is giving to this fund currently. So we're all very passionate about making it happen, and we're already halfway there, just from 2022. So the goal of getting that fully endowed by 2026 definitely seems within reach. And this picture is of Matthew David Dorth, who is our first recipient of the scholarship. He is was the president of the Engineers Without Borders student chapter, and he's been doing a lot of really great things. And I've been fortunate enough to start kind of being able to act as a mentor to him since giving him the scholarship. And he's been extremely appreciative of everything that we've been able to help him out with. So this is something that we're really passionate about keeping going and getting it fully endowed.
And I just want to add to that, like, we've given very small amounts to very large amounts. So like, there's no pressure. If you can give $1, that really does help. And people have activated their employer match to help support the scholarship, or ask other mentors of theirs to give. So we're just really trying to hit that $30,000 goal and get this something that's endowed, like Alex shared.
Mm-hmm. And if you go to the engineering or the College of Engineering website and go to the alumni board page, there's actually a link there where you can go and you can donate to the fund yourself. And usually each year when we have the Dog Day of Giving, we always have the option for your donation, your gift, to go towards this scholarship. So, you know, we really strive to promote this scholarship, and Kate does a really great job of promoting a lot for Dog Day of Giving and providing us with all the information that we need to post to our socials, to our LinkedIn, to whatever it may be, to help kind of promote this. So we got to make it happen, y'all. And then what is the expectations of a board member? So we have 2 in-person meetings on UGA campus in Driftmeyer per year, one in the fall and one in the spring. Usually what that kind of looks like is it generally will fall on either, well, I think we've now switched it to falling on a Thursday, the actual board meeting. So we'll have kind of like a welcoming dinner the Wednesday night before. One of the things that's kind of we need to keep in mind with this is currently under Dean Leo's leadership, the college will pay for your flight if you need to fly back into Georgia. They'll pay for your hotel room for that night. You know, they'll fully support you to be able to come and attend this meeting. With Dr. Durham being the interim dean, we're fairly positive that he's going to be in support of that as well. And so we'll still be able to kind of fund that. As we search for the new dean, there is potential for that to change, but we're actively making sure that whichever dean that we are bringing into the college is aware of what the alumni board is doing, what we kind of need, and showing how important that is to be able to support our members to join these board meetings. Along that, we're starting to have Zoom meetings, probably 2 per year as well. So they'll fall kind of in between these in-person meetings. And these Zoom meetings will primarily just be kind of a touch base to say, this is what we're doing. You know, does anyone else have any new ideas that they've come up with that they really want to kind of work on and do? So yeah. And so the expectation of you as a board member, aside from that, is to also help plan and participate in as many events as possible. So that can look like, you know, potentially 2 hours per month or so, I would say, if you're trying to be really active, is about, you know, the total amount of time that you would need to provide outside of the in-person meetings. Again, helping to kind of promote the engineering scholarship, be an advocate for the college, you know, that's sharing all sorts of different programs. You know, if something's really great is happening at the college, kind of shouting that out on your LinkedIn page or something. If the engineering alumni board is trying to do any sort of initiatives, kind of getting other alumni who aren't even on the board to help promote that, get them interested. You know, the events that we do aren't restricted just to alumni on the board. So bringing your network in, you know, whether that's your company who maybe be able to support, you know, financially or however that may look, bringing your fellow alumni who maybe you graduated with and aren't on the board, they are welcome to come and attend one of these events. They're welcome to come and help out with one of our STEM outreach days, you know, whatever that may be. And of course, again, fundraising. And as Niyelle said, you don't have to be in Georgia to be on the board. You know, we have people from all over. For a while, Jack was in Indonesia while he was on the board, and he was in a leadership position on the board, but was able to do it in a completely different time zone. And so, you know, there's no restriction on that whatsoever. And of course, we want to have as many majors represented as possible. So currently we have a lot of civil, we have mechanical, biological, computer systems, and we have some PhDs and masters on the board. But ideally, we would have all majors represented. So, you know, if you yourself are from a major that's different than these listed, maybe you're electrical or whatever that may be, you know, we definitely encourage you to apply. If you know of other alumni who are, you know, within one of these majors that we don't currently have, you know, please encourage them to apply, because it's not a matter of us just looking diverse, but then having more backgrounds that can then support the students that we're trying to support, that can support the additional alumni and help grow our network. So yeah. And that's all we had for the presentation portion of this. So now we kind of want to open the floor up to any questions that you guys might have, and kind of make this more of a discussion at this point.
Can I ask the first question?
Okay.
What brings you here to the Zoom call of the alumni board? And maybe just tell us who you are and what you do and why you're excited or interested. So.
We're gonna start calling on you guys if you don't answer.
I got my video on, so I guess I can go first. So yeah, I'm Ryan Devine. I have a bachelor's and a PhD in biological engineering from UGA. Got the PhD in 2020 under Dr. Honda. I guess my general interest in the board was that I just, spent so much time at UGA. By my account, it was about a third of my life by the time I graduated. That I just always kind of wanted to give back, just because I kind of realized that like it takes a village. I had like a lot of different mentors that kind of helped me along the way. So I think, if I look back, none of them were like direct alumni that went exactly through what I went through, because my first year in undergrad was like the second year the college was founded. So that's where I just kind of, just even for like the past year, I was a part of like the UGA mentor program. And sometimes, you just kind of have like I remember one of the people I had reach out, she was like a freshman, in her first semester, and she was like freaking out about like, I don't know what to do with my major. And I said, don't worry, you got 3.5 more years. Like we were all like in that place. So I think that was just I kind of just developed especially during grad school, like that always kind of interests me, especially with teaching, to kind of go through and just kind of answer those questions and kind of have like mentoring be a part of the process. So that's where I kind of got connected with Kate through some of those things I was looking out towards, and she mentioned the alumni board, so I figured I was like, oh, okay, that'd be a great way to kind of continue kind of giving back to the experience that I had.
Awesome. It's not as hard as a PhD, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I do not have my camera on, but I'm driving home from work right now, actually. But my name is Wyatt, and I graduated in 2023. Well, no, sorry, 2022 with mechanical engineering, but I did the engineering MBA dual degree with John as well, who I think is on the call. But yeah, general interest is in the same vein of, I think, as soon as I graduated, that's 5 years of your life that you're just so ingrained and involved at the university, and then to kind of go off and just have it kind of not disappear by any means, but it's not so omnipresent in your life, and that it hurts a little bit. It makes you sad, and there's a lot of different ways that I've tried to give back, do the mentor program, and I actually got a mentee, which was awesome. And I did a couple of volunteer opportunities with the College of Engineering, and then with the Young Alumni, and obviously going back to football games and just going, being involved when I can. But it's not the same. It's not. I want to always be able to do more, and I think for me it was just like the next progression of that is like, okay, how can I give back as much as I can? And I think that it was the natural progression, saying like, oh yeah, the an alumni board, the engineering on that board. It's such a young college. There's so many awesome things to be involved in and get started. So yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Don't worry, why I am still here. Hey everyone. I'm John Porter. Here, hold on, I'll turn my camera on really quick. I'm on my phone, so I apologize. I did environmental engineering, graduated in 22, but did the MBA dual degree also with Mr. Wyatt. And I think the biggest thing that has interested me kind of falls along the similar lines of what Wyatt was saying. Like, I really kind of missed being involved in the college, like as an ambassador and, anywhere I could there. And so I've been looking for ways to kind of get back. I'm actually currently living in Birmingham right now, Alabama. And so I'm kind of feeling that, not being able to be in Athens every day, not being able to, go back and see Driftmeyer too often. But I really want to get more involved, and really want to kind of give back the way that a certain alumni before me have given to us. So that's really kind of what's inspired me to be part of this. So yeah, thank you guys for all of the information. It's very helpful, and it's great to know that someone who is not in Georgia can also still, you know, contribute in certain ways. So yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining the call.
I know everyone may not feel comfortable like getting off mute and talking about themselves. So if you guys have like more questions that we can answer while we have you on the phone, feel free to ask too. But I'll still let you guys jump in. Don't want to cut anyone off. Will the deck be shared, Kate? Yes, I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can add a little bit more about my experience. I think joining the board really, it helps you in a lot of different ways. I think it was cool to see like other people passionate about like you guys mentioned, the mentoring bit of it all, how we have a new college, a newer college in comparison to all the other colleges at UGA. So we kind of are getting to shape what the board looks like and our influence on our students and our alumni and all the other external groups that are interested in UGA. So I really appreciate that and having those connects. We also have another side of the board. We're like the alumni board, but there's also board members who are involved in industry. So you get to connect with them, and they may not necessarily be alumni of the college, but they still are very interested in the board for other reasons because of their like top employers, or they just are working with UGA a lot. So I think that's also a good aspect of it, is getting to meet other professionals who have more tenure. A lot of us are newly graduated, or like at least 5 to 10 years within graduating. So that's pretty cool. I think that's the people aspect of it all is really what I was attracted to, because not only is this smaller group of the board, but meeting other students and guiding them through has really been cool. So yeah, that's my perspective on it.
I would add something to that, Niyelle, about the personal connections you make. I think, you know, one of the expectations of the board meeting twice a year for the in-person board meetings. One thing that we've shifted to doing is we have an advisory board as well. So we have the Dean's Advisory Board, which is made up of mostly industry partners. There are alumni, but it's, you know, a lot of Caterpillar, Gulfstream, Georgia Power, Lockheed, and one of the board meetings that we have, we like to combine that with the advisory board. So that's, I think, a great networking opportunity to meet with kind of industry partners in a very casual, we have dinner together. I work for the college. You guys have dinner together with the advisory board and get to talk to them. And they're, you know, seasoned veterans in their career. They're often have been in industry for 25 plus years. So that's a great opportunity to get to talk to, you know, for personal reasons for you all. We want to be able to help you all as alumni grow in your careers too. So that's a fun one. And that I think will be the April meeting. So that's going to be, I think, more of a spring thing. And as alumni board members, kind of the goal for us as the staff and the people that are trying to engage our alumni, the advisory board is something that we would like for you all to be on in 15 years as well. So it's kind of, this alumni board is kind of a nice platform and, you know, jumping off point to just further engagement with the college for the rest of your careers.
It's nice too because
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Brendon.
Oh, okay. You sure? I can go first?
Yeah, it was going to be another thing I love about being on the board.
Okay, then you go first then. Like, yeah.
I was just going to add, we kind of talked about some of the programs that we planned, and I really like the autonomy that we have as board members to really pinpoint what we think as attention areas for our students or alumni and get to plan programs around that. So I appreciate that we're getting to be creative on like how we can solve problems, whether that's being more active on social media and showing different career options, or like getting people ready for career day, along with like our social events that we have as well.
Yeah, and I guess, and also to add to it as well, like, I'm just gonna go through a quick list. It's like we have to help students. So we have like resume review days. We have we wanted to do partnerships with like outreach to K through 12. So we do Introduce Girl Engineering Day and STEM Day. We do panels to current students and alumni. We do, I think even like last spring, we did the Gwinnett Science Fair and kind of advocated for the College of Engineering, kind of like asking, answering questions to high school students at their science fair about what it is to be in the engineering profession and how do you get there, what's your journey. And then also like other things of, you get to do like alumni of the day to paneling discussions. Like I know one we keep doing, I think is pretty common, is make the most of your internship to, or just graduate school program. Like how do you do that? And you'll kind of be like the standard for current students and actually really like push them along and say, hey, I'm here with you. So that's kind of a big passion project, at least when I'm back in the day as well. And the networking, you can't go wrong with some networking. It's kind of like the like on the advisory board, there's the big wigs, as I like to call them, but no, you can't go wrong. Might see your boss there.
Yeah, it's definitely great being on the alumni board, and also just being with other alumni who are like-minded and are just wanting to support the college. I mean, it just feels like a big friend group. It doesn't feel like a work board to me. It's like I'm always really excited to get together and see everyone again and hang out and see what everyone's up to.
I think
I had a follow-up question. So you guys kind of talk about some of the initiatives that you guys are working on now. Do you guys have any initiatives that you guys are planning for in the upcoming years? Like what does those initiatives look like?
So I think right now our main focus is these initiatives that we have, but we're certainly open to, other board members who, maybe if you join the board and you're really passionate about doing this thing, like we will support you in doing that. We'll do what we can to make it happen. And, there's nothing that we're not going to do or help you out with. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, we find like needs that fall under those couple of pillars. So we can still put our own spin on it. And that's what I was kind of getting to earlier, is that we really want you to come with like your ideas and see how we can support our students in different ways. I think what we're really excited about too is now that we're moving a little bit away from Zoom, is that we're getting to do more stuff in person. So it'll be cool to see how like some of these older programs that we had that were on the computer translate to in person with our students and alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and another part of it too is that it's so open forum, and the alumni board kind of runs itself to where, like, once upon a time, we wanted to make a scholarship and we all agreed that it should happen, and we just did it. And with the support of college, we made it happen. Or we wanted K through 12 outreach, so it made it a pillar. We changed the bylaws, so we did it. Or it's come a long way. And then the more input that you can provide in, the more that you'll be able to do.
I think too, I mean, an example I think of somebody taking initiative is Manasa did these Instagram reels around the career fair, and she like ran that herself. And I think it was helpful. She lives in Seattle, so she's not going to be able to come to a lot of the in-person events, but she, worked with our communications coordinator on staff, and she came up with a 3-series Instagram reel around the career fair. So that was her idea. It fell under one of the initiatives, and that was great. I think the initiatives too, the board has a lot of say, and you guys can decide the initiatives, but a lot of that comes from what the dean wants to see the college do. So I think that if, with the new dean coming in within the next year and a half, I think we could see just hearing what they have to say about their vision too could shape some of the things that the board does. But I think the exciting part about that is that the board can have those conversations with the new dean on the front end and talk about that. So the dean can understand what the goal of the board is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another example is like the DNIB. Well, I always put B on it, but DNI, the diversity, equity, inclusion task on that, which is a huge undertaking, but because of the college and where it was going and the initiatives that were put forward, the alumni board responded with certain activities and initiatives as well.
Sounds good. I guess one follow-up. Do you guys see the alumni board growing as like the College of Engineering grows as well? Or are you guys going to keep about the same amount of numbers?
I think currently we want to try and keep it the same amount of numbers, because kind of like becomes too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing when it comes to planning events and everything. I mean, of course, that's open to change as the college grows and grows. But I feel like at least in the current state, we're going to try and keep it around the same amount of numbers that we have. We're around 18 members total. We had quite a few roll off this past cycle, so we're probably looking to add potentially 7 to 8, if I remember correctly, members back to the board. So, but it's not to say that, you know, people who aren't on the board can't then also participate. So, you know, it's not strictly just the board members can do these things. You know, anyone within their network can join and help out. So it kind of like opens the amount of people that we can have in that sense.
I think I could see from the perspective of somebody who I think will be here for a long time with seeing the college grow. I think I could see the reason, from my understanding, that the alumni board is a young alumni board is because the age of the college is still so young. A lot of colleges have an alumni board and a young alumni board, and we don't have that. So I could see in the next 10 years us creating an alumni board and a young alumni board. But right now, most of our alumni are under the age of 34. So I think for us right now, it makes sense to keep just one alumni board that is not called the young alumni board, but is a young alumni board. So, but I think what Alex said is correct. I think keeping it around, 20 max is a number of board members is probably a good number for what everybody's trying to do. I mean, I think when you hear there's a 2-hour a month commitment, I think right now it honestly doesn't really garner enough work to have more than 20 members. I think it's all manageable with the group size that it is right now. And you could disagree with me all, Brendon, Alex, and Niyelle, but it's just my perspective.
No, I think that's pretty accurate for sure.
That's accurate. Especially when it comes to around like February, April, where you have like Engineers Week and then you have to graduation. There's lots of events going on, and that is when your time to shine. Just
yeah,
just being honest.
Mark the calendars, y'all.
Yeah, just in general, it's not a busy time like, oh boohoo, it's busy. It's actually really exciting. So
absolutely.
Hey, I've got a really quick question. For some of these initiatives that we've been mentioning, like Alumni of the Day or Employee of the Day, and like some of the DE&I initiatives, is that like, I guess, is that structure? Do you have like subgroups within the alumni board that kind of take the lead on that? Like, do you have like a few people working on DE&I, and is that kind of the structure? I'm just curious. Like, I assume you'd be meeting separately and maybe working with different groups, like working with Sonia to be able to get some of these done. Is that kind of how it operates?
And I don't mean to jump in here, but yeah, that was kind of one of my questions too, to add on what John was saying, is that, how does it kind of like communication and work structure work kind of around those board meetings a year?
Yeah, so basically right now we have those different groups and no one is required to be within one group only. So, you can pick, if you're really passionate about DE&I, then you can be working in that sector and you can kind of help out with those events. But then if an event comes up within K through 12 and you really want to help out with that, then of course you can also help out with that. So usually when we have our in-person meetings, the first part of the day we'll be kind of talking about what we've done, what we're looking to do in this upcoming year. And then we'll have little breakout groups where we'll say, okay, if you're really interested in DE&I, go to this room. If you're really interested in K through 12, go to this room, and just kind of allows people to kind of shift around as they see fit and, whatever they're passionate with at that current time. And then we ultimately get back together after, these little breakout groups come and we kind of communicate amongst the entire board. Like, these are the things that we talked about. These are the things that we want to accomplish in this upcoming year. And that way everyone is in tune with what each pillar is basically trying to do. But yeah, you're not restricted to only one particular group.
So I think we have, and Alex is absolutely accurate. That's exactly how it has worked. I think we've talked about having committees within the initiatives and having kind of a more structured group of 3 to 4 board members with DE&I, 3 to 4 board members K-12. At the same time, not limiting you to, if you want to help with an event, if you're in DE&I and you want to help with an event in K-12, you can do that. We have not formalized that yet. We've just put out to the current board members an interest form on where your priorities and your interests would fall of those 4 initiatives. So that's currently a conversation we're having. I think, you know, I've only been here for a year and a half, but the board used to have committees and it didn't have committees. So I think there's just been some change over the years, but I think we're looking towards structure in some certain areas, because I think questions like that, it's helpful to guide the year of programming if you are in a group. But so that's something that we're talking about. It's a very long-winded way to say it.
And another piece to it too
Thanks, I
is
appreciate it.
yeah. Oh, and another piece to it too is that like I know previously there was like we have a whole giant spreadsheet on the different events and the time of the year and what we're doing, and we kind of add it as we go. Also, Kate, you have only been here for a year and a half.
Wow.
Like only I thought you were been here for like 5 to 10 years. So
It
okay.
could be a really good thing or a really bad thing, Brendon.
No, it just means you're the expert.
Tread lightly, Brendon.
No, I'm just saying.
Did that answer your question, John? And Ryan? Okay.
Yes, that does answer it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great question, y'all.
Yeah, that was a good question.
I had a question. Sorry.
Yeah.
For the current board members, I wanted to ask you guys, have you guys noticed any areas of growth since being a part of the board within yourself?
I would say, like I mentioned, like the networking aspect of it all. Like when we meet with the advisory board, it can be a little intimidating because they're like, you know, really high up in their company. Some of them are retired from these amazing companies. And I just, having a common interest in like the University of Georgia and College of Engineering is just like a good talking point to get it going and get to talk to them. So that's good. I really also feel like I've grown with having the challenge of being hybrid and having to figure out how to still contribute, because I'm someone who like loves to be involved in person on the ground, but having to maybe speak more on panels or like volunteer my time in a different way, getting creative like that has really challenged me as well. And I think just diving more into like, I'm someone who's passionate about DEI, but figuring out what diversity means beyond like, you know, the typical phenotypical things, also like location, socioeconomic status, just seeing how our students navigate those things. All being engineers, again, having that common interest in College of Engineering has really just been a really exciting perspective and grown me in those ways too, if that makes any sense. But overall, great experience, and I'm sad that this is my last year to be on the board.
I think also, Boo, you just have to, you know, become like chair or something, you know. You know, I think once upon a time when I was an alumni board member like 2 months ago, I would say if I had to roll back 3 years ago, I was, you know, heavily in imposter syndrome, didn't know what I was doing professionally, didn't know how to speak to an audience, how to advocate for people, what they really need the most. And I think it just kind of, it challenged me as a person to become a better professional, a better friend, a better alumni per se. And me actually reaching out to other people and saying, hey, what do you actually need as a student or as a networking buddy, really changed everything, especially with the alumni board. Because every single year you have people coming in and out and really figuring out how to work with people and work better with people. And even to the D&IB aspect as well, is like, how do you become a better advocate in all, you know, pieces of it all? Like one person that's an electrical engineer from a certain background and one that's in a biological background might be a little bit different. So you getting together with another group and saying, hey, I'm going to do alumni of the day for this group of people. But then on the other hand, you're also speaking on behalf of your experience, which is a little intimidating. Like if I had to explain my career in a sentence, it's kind of hard to do, but then you kind of learn how to do that. And like I know on the advisory board, there's some big DOT people that I work with that fuels my paycheck. And it's a little intimidating to be like, hi, please don't fire me, but I promise I do good work. You know? So it's really trying to get comfortable with people of all backgrounds. So that I would say thank you also, but I would say you'll experience that as well.
I think a few things to note are the alumni board is young. I mean, it's only been around for 4 or 5 years. And so I think the exciting part about that is that we're still figuring it out. And it's a nice opportunity to be a part of a group that can challenge what you guys are working on and bring new ideas and really shape the way the board is going to be in the future. So I think it's a good opportunity to get in on the front end. I think too, I think the inspiring thing that I see from the board is that the students, like you're talking about the advisory board members being intimidating, the students find you guys intimidating. So like, I think just you guys showing up into a room in front of students is impactful in itself. These students are excited to talk to you. They're nervous, but the words that come out of your mouths are important and they matter. And so I think you're leaving an impression on the students. And so it's just nice to be a part of a group that's just part of the responsibility. That's part of being a board member. You know, it's built into it. So you're making an impact. And then the last thing I say is I just sent Alex a job offer, like job opportunity. Like, I think you're kind of in the know. And so I was like, hey, this guy just told me he had a job. He's a structural engineer. And Alex, if you or anybody you know is looking for a job here, like, you know, I post jobs to our engineering alumni LinkedIn, but being a part of this group is, or being a friend of a board member too, is just helpful in terms of being kind of more in the know of building your own portfolio and your resume. So just a few things to note.
Yeah, I think they all hit the nail on the head for sure there. So
we don't have to stay on here until 8 o'clock. If anybody has any more questions. I don't feel like you have to ask questions. But I do think too, and people can ask more questions if they have them, but you know, Niyelle, Brendon, and Alex are all very available, and all of our board members are very, very available. So they're all online too. So if you do find more questions, you probably know somebody on the board. And if you don't feel intimidated and reach out, and they're all welcome. You're able to contact them. So I know questions can come up.
Yeah, let's connect on LinkedIn, guys. Let's be alumni friends. But yeah, I'm really excited that you guys are interested, and I really wish you the best through the process of applying. And yeah, I'm excited that you are excited about the college.
Does anybody have any final questions? Okay.
And I would note, just apply, don't do what I did. Apply not at the last minute, apply while it's on your mind, just being honest here. It takes a full, maybe 30 minutes tops. If you're, I mean, cup of coffee, go, but 30 minutes tops, I would say. You know?
And I'll also say if you do apply and you don't get accepted, don't let that get you down. We really encourage you to keep applying. You know, we have some board members who may have applied 2 years and then they got on, and now they're doing great on the board. So, you know, if you don't get on the first try, just keep trying. Yeah.
And I think, you know, it is taken into consideration your years of eligibility left. So, you know, if you're a 2019 grad, don't let that deter you either. You know, maybe your last year of eligibility, but just, I think don't let it get you down. And then the application, you probably, maybe you've taken a look at it, but you are required to submit a video. Don't let that scare you. You guys can all talk about the videos you submitted. I don't think I saw any of them because you guys were here before me, but it's just, it can be a selfie video, 45 seconds. It does not have to be something curated and a masterpiece. But yeah.
I think for my video, I set my phone leaning against my water bottle in my office and just talked for a minute. So it's gonna be super easy.
So funny because I set up a tripod. I had jerseys in the background. I needed a whole production, but I think talking to the application process would be helpful. too. I just want you guys to like speak from your personal experiences. I think that's what's most impactful, and that's what we want to see, because we are getting the person that you are to come to the board. So I think that's the easiest to talk to, and that's what comes off most authentic to us. But yeah.
Yeah, the big purpose of the video is to see who you are as a person. You know, like, what is your personality like? I don't, you know, at least for myself, like, I'm not as interested in hearing what accolades you have and like, you know, this, that, and the other. I want to know, like, what are you passionate about? Like, why do you want to be on the board, and why do you want to support the College of Engineering? Like, you as a person, you know?
Yeah, because we see your resume too. So like, I think we want to see the other parts of you as well.
Yeah, resume is easy to put together. A video, it's like, just tell your story.
Yeah.
Just be
And
yourself.
you can have fun with it. You can have fun. Niyelle had fun with it. You can go the extra mile if you feel so inclined.
Yeah.
And I think too, just talking through like the steps of the application. So the application will be open through June 30th. In the past, well, I'm not gonna, well, we've extended it for a week, but don't wait. Do it by June 30th. So it'll be open through June 30th, and then these lovely board members are the ones who review your application. So I have no say. They will, you know, review and rank your applications, and then there will be Alex and Anastasia will kind of ultimately decide who to bring in for interviews, and then interviews will happen probably in early to mid-July, and then we'll probably be announcing the board members late July. But if you make it through, you'll know. If you don't make it through, you'll also know. We will contact everybody personally to let you guys know where you stand. So just so you know, timeline of how that's going to work. So we're doing this on the early end of the application being open, but I think it'll hopefully help a lot of people that have any questions over the next 3 or 4 weeks as they go through the process, having this recording. So any other final questions? Go ahead, Brendon.
And shameless plug, you know, go on Instagram for the UGA alumni board, you know, or just, you know, actually, it's blurred. But anyways, it's like, well, you know, I can do bridges, but I can't find my left shoe. You know, but you know, but shameless plug for the Instagram follow. And if you have any questions, please reach out, connect in, ask the question. And you asking that question might just get yourself ahead, because I might, or whomever might recognize that name. So just saying.
Yeah.
So I wanted to add one application tip for anyone else. I made a mistake last year of thinking that some of the questions have a 500 word max. It's actually 500 character max. So I made that mistake last year. And if it wasn't for that 1 week extension, I would have like
not
like that.
Totally fine.
Everything in Word, and then I copied it over to that application. It's like it doesn't fit, and I was like, "Oh my god!" But,
yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah,
you're very thorough and detailed. That's all that tells me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me, but these 3 people will have probably more insight than I do. So if you want personal experience, reach out to them, or any of the other. I think right now we have like 9 board members. Sad, we did lose 6, including Brendon. So yeah, we are looking to grow that. But thank y'all for coming. And thank you, Alex, Brendon, and Niyelle, for spending your Tuesday night with us as well and giving your time. So this will be recorded. I'll send an email afterwards, but thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
appreciate it.
Guys,
Thank you.